Alcatraz, also known as The Rock, only opened for 29 years from 1934 to 1963. It received its name by Spanish explorer Juan Manuel when he charted the San Francisco Bay. 72 years later, the United States took notice of The Rock and decided it was ideal for military services. The advantages of a prison being built on the rock was the 1 1/4 mile away from the shore, and the water was 55 degrees, and the water also contained small bottom-feeding sharks in the water. And the first few years Alcatraz was open, it enforced the silent treatment. There was no talking at all was ever allowed. And there was a limit, 1 prisoner per cell, making the ratio 1 guard to every 3 prisoners. But other prisons' ratio is 1 guard to every 12 prisoners, so there's a big difference there. Some of the rules and regulations at Alcatraz and how it lived up to its reputation of being the strictest prison in federal history. Prisoners were permitted to shelter, medical care, clothing, and food. Anything besides those 4 things was considered a privilege. Among the rules, there were privileges. Alcatraz offered 5 privileges that included movies, music, church, visiting hours, and smoking. Alcatraz is known for its maximum security prison, but it wouldn't be so mysterious if it wasn't for the notorious criminals it held captive. Criminals like Al Capone, Robert Stroud, George Machine Gun Kelly, Alvin Caprice, and Henry Young. The criminals did crimes ranging from kidnapping, bank robbery, and murder. America's infamous Al Capone himself spent 4 years and 6 months behind the bars of Alcatraz. Al Capone was one of the most famous gangsters in the 1930s. A Chicago-based boss involved in illegal gambling, bootlegging, and prostitution. Capone and his top associate, George Machine Gun Kelly, teamed up to create one of the most famous mass murders in the history, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 5 years later, Al Capone was caught and sentenced to 11 years in Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. Capone's cell was extremely different from other inmates at Atlanta. His cell included personal bedding, carpet, a radio, and was allowed to have large amounts of money stashed throughout his cell. He would also pay the guards to do his own work, and the head of the federal prisons, Homer Cummings, found out that this was going on, and he sentenced Capone to Alcatraz forever. And you can see the difference that this was his cell at Atlanta compared to this. It's a big change. And Capone